သာသနာတော်နှစ်2565နှစ်မြန်မာတက္ကရာ1383ခုနှစ်ခရစ်နှစ်14ရက်တလ2020နှစ်တောက်ကြနေ့ရန်ကုန်တိုင်းဒဂုံမြို့တိတောင်ပိုင်းမြို့နယ်အမှတ်104ရပ်ကွယ်ရွှေဝဝင်းကျောင်းမဂုပတနာဓမ္မရိပ်သာကြီးအတွင်စင်ကျင်းပပြုလုပ်အပ်သည့်ပရိစ္ဆသမုပ္ပါအင်္ဂလိပ်မြန်မာသင်္นานပွဲတော်ကြီးတွင်ကြွရောက်တော်မူလာကြကုန်သောတန်ဃာတော်ရှင်သူမြတ်တို့နှင့်ယောဂီပေါင်းတော်ကောင်းတို့အားဒီကနေ့နောက်ဆုံးသင်္ကန်းစာနောက်ဆုံးနေ့ပရိစ္ဆသမုပ္ပါသင်္นานတရားတော်ရဲ့နောက်ဆုံးနေ့ဏီကုံချုပ်နေ့အဖြစ်ကျေးဇူးပြုပေးမှာဖြစ်လို့သင်္นานမစခင်သင်ကိုယ်တော်မြတ်ကြီးအားနမောတတ3ချိန်ရွတ်ဆို၍ဖရာရှိခိုးပူဇော်ကြောကြပါကုန်စို့နမောတတဘဂဝတောအရဟတောသမ္မာသမ္ဗုဒ္ဓတ္တနမောတတဘဂဝတောအရဟတောသမ္မာသမ္ဗုဒ္ဓတ္တနမောတတဘဂဝတောအရဟတောသမ္မာသမ္ဗုဒ္ဓတ္တToday is the last day on dependent origination. Concerning with the dependent origination, this is the last lecture, the last one. We have to conclude dependent origination. To understand dependent origination, we are studying 12 factors. After the 12 factors, now we are explaining true and the root, true and the truth. Today, what I'm going to explain is four other groups, four groups. I'm going to explain four other groups, four groups. We have to understand four groups in this diagram. In this diagram, look at this diagram, four groups. Four groups mean, to understand four groups, we have to see this diagram. When you see this diagram, this is number 1 session, this is number 2, this is number 3, this is number 4. When you see this diagram, by dividing 4 sessions, number 1 session is called number 1 group. Number 2 session is also called number 2 group. This is number 3, this is number 4. It's very clear to understand. Number 1 group, number 2 group, number 3 and number 4 groups. In this diagram, you can see 4 groups. What are the 4 groups? We have to understand more and more. To understand 4 groups, at first you have to see number 1 groups. In the number 1 groups, here actually Avijja and Sankhara. Talking about the dependent origination, we have to understand 12 factors. Without understanding 12 factors, we cannot explain any others explanation, any others topic. To understand all of topics concerned with the dependent origination, fundamentally, we have to understand 12 factors. In the number 1 groups, here, avijja and sankhara. Avijja, ignorance, and sankhara, volitional activities, volitional actions. Avijja and sankhara, ignorance and volitional activities. Avijja and sankharas are in the number 1 groups. In the number 1 groups. And then in the number 2 groups, as you understand, in the number 2, Vijnana, Namarupa, Salayirana, Phassa, Vedana. In the number 2 groups, 5 factors are there. There are 5 factors in the number 2 groups. 2 factors are in the number 1. 5 factors are in the number 2. This is very easily to understand. That's why when I explain 12 factors, I took for a long time to understand 12 factors very clearly. When you understand 12 factors, these explanations are very obvious for you, very easy. So, in the number 1 groups, avijja and sankhara. In the number 2, Vijnana, Namarupa, Salayirana, Phassa, and Vedana. In the number 1 groups, 2 factors. In the number 2 groups, 5 factors. 2 and 5, 7 factors altogether. Go to the number 3. In the number 3 groups, you can see diagram Tanha, Upadana, Kamabhava. Tanha means craving, Upadana, clinging, Kamabhava, becoming. Craving, clinging, becomings are in the number 2, in the number 3 groups. In the number 3. In the number 3, 3 factors. 3 factors in the number 3. 2 factors in the number 1. 5 factors in the number 2. 3 factors in the number 3. In the number 4, how many factors are there? 2 factors only. Jati and Jaramarana. Jati and Jaramaranas are in the number 4. 2 factors are in the number 4. In the number 1, 2 factors. In the number 2, 5 factors. In the number 3, 3 factors. In the number 4, 2 factors. 2 factors and 5 factors, altogether 7. And again, 3 factors, altogether 10. And 2 factors, altogether 12. Altogether 12. When you see this diagram, you can see 12 factors very obviously. 12 factors very obviously. When you understand 12 factors, to explain 4 groups are very easy. In order to understand 4 groups is really easy. This is really easy. In order to understand 4 groups, you have to understand 12 factors at first. Basically, you have to understand 12 factors. Without understanding 12 factors, we cannot explain 4 groups. To understand 4 groups, you have to understand 12 factors at first. Without understanding 12 factors, we cannot explain 4 groups. In this connection, in this diagram, there are 4 groups in this diagram. To understand 4 groups, we have to study 12 factors. Presently, we have already studied 12 factors. We understood 12 factors very well. We understand 12 factors quite well. We understand not only Pali language but also English. English also very easy to understand. We have already understood 12 factors together with English language. So when you understand 12 factors, you can understand 4 groups very easily. Very easily. So 4 groups mean 1 groups here, number 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups especially. In the number 1, group number 1, 2 factors are there. 2 factors are in the group number 1. 5 factors are in the group number 2. 3 factors are in the number 3. 2 factors are in the number 4. In the number 4 groups, 2 factors only. 2 factors only. Depending on number 1 groups, there arise number 2 groups. Depending on number 2 group, there arise number 3 groups. Depending on number 3, there arise number 4 groups. Number 1 group is cause, number 2 group is effect, number 3 is cause, number 4 is effect. Cause and effect, cause and effect. Cause and effect only. That is called dependent origination. Dependent origination means cause and effect. Depending on cause, originate effect. Depending on cause, originate effect. Dependent origination means cause and effect only. However you explain this diagram, you have to understand cause and effect. That is the essence of dependent origination. This is the essence of dependent origination. When you study dependent origination, you may understand quite well cause and effect. You may understand cause and effect quite well. That is the essence of studying dependent origination. In this point, we are explaining 4 groups. When you listen this explanation, you may understand 4 groups. 4 groups are obviously number 1 group, number 2, number 3, and number 4. That's all. Number 1 groups. In the number 1 groups, There are two factors. In the number 2, 5 factors. In the number 3, 3 factors. In the number 4, 2 factors only. Depending on 2 factors in the number 1, there arise 5 factors in the number 2. Depending on 5 factors in the number 2, there arise 3 factors in the number 3. Depending on 3 factors in the number 3, there arise 2 factors in the number 4. Depending on 1, there arise 2. Depending on 2, there arise 3. Depending on 3, there arise 4. Depending on avijja and sankhara, there arise vijnana, nama, rupa, salayirana, phassa, vedana. Depending on vijnana, nama, rupa, salayirana, phassa, vedana, there arise tana, upadana, kamma, bhava. Depending on tana, upadana, kamma, bhava, there arise jati and jara. This diagram is cycling ceaselessly. Without practicing meditation, this is cycling forever. Cycling ad infinitum. So, to stop this cycle, when you understand in the number 1, here you can see only 2 factors. Only 2 factors. In spite, you see these 2 factors. Nama, rupa, salayirana, here also 5. Causes are 5. Effects are also 5. 5 causes and 5 effects. Here also the same way. Tana, uparana, bhava, you can see. But not only these 3, but also other 2. Tana, upadana, bhava, avijja, sankhara, also you have to count into 5. 5 causes, we call these are 5 causes. Depending on these 5 causes, there arise 5 effects. Vijnana, nama, rupa, salayitana, phassa, vedana. Here you can see jati and jara marana. Jati means the arising of 5 aggregates. Jara means the old age of 5 aggregates. Marana means the death of 5 aggregates. The disappearance of 5 aggregate is called marana. Jati is the arising of these 5. Jarami, the old age of these 5. Maranami, the In the number 1 group, 5 causes. In the number 2 groups, 5 effects. In the number 3, 5 causes. In the number 4, 5 effects. Okay, this is 4 other groups. 4 groups. I hope you may understand 4 other groups. After that, factors numbering 12. Actually, this is you understand 12 factors quite well. So, I don't need to explain 12 factors. After the 12 factors, what you have to understand is 3-4 round. Kilesavata, 2 Kamavatas, and 8 Vibhagavatas. Kilesavata, Kamavata, and Vibhagavatas. Kilesavata, Kamavata, and Vibhagavatas. Kilesa means defilements. Vata means wrongs. Kilesavata means defilements, wrong. Defilements, wrongs. Kamavatas. Kama means actions. Kamavata, vata means wrongs. Kamavata means action wrongs. Vibhagavatas. Vibhaga means resultant. Round, action round, and resultant round. Kilesavata, Kamavata, and Vibhagavatas. Kilesavatas are 3, Kamavatas are 2, Vibhagavatas are 8 kinds. What are the 3 Kilesavata? What are the 3 Kilesavata? Kilesa, defilements. Defilements wrong. Kilesa. We have to find out Kilesa in this diagram. Kinds of defilements. According to Aries arrow, when we go according to Aries arrow, Tanha also defilements. Upadana also defilements. Kilesa. Avijja is Kilesa, Tanha is Kilesa, Upadana is Kilesa. So, karma bhava. Sankhara and karma bhavas are called karma vatas, 2 karma vatas. What are the 8 vibhaga vatas? 8 vibhaga vatas mean 5 aggregate in chati, upapati, bhava, jara, marana. Vijnana, nama, rupa, salayirana, phasa, vedana, altogether 5. Sankhara and karma bhava, they are called 2 karma vatas. 8 Vijnana, nama, rupa, salayirana, phasa, vedana, 5. And again, chati, 6. Upapati bhava, 7th. Jara, marana, 8. Altogether 8. They are called 8 vibhaga vatas. 8 vibhaga vatas. 3 kilesa vatas, 2 karma vatas, and 8 vibhaga vatas. This is called 3-4 round. 3 rounds. The first round is kilesa vata. Karma vatas. The third one is vibhaga vatas. They are called 3 rounds. 3 rounds. Number 2, this is a number 3, this is a number 4. They are linking each other. So this is one link. Also linking. They are linking, so we call that is one link. Number 3 and number 4 are also linking. That is also one link. Number 1 and number 2s are linking each other. That's why this is one link. Number 2 and number 3s are one link. Is one link. There are 3 links you have to understand. 1 and 2, they are linking each others, but even though they are linking each others, not the whole 1 groups and not the whole 2 groups. What are the linking? Which one are linking in this connection? In the number 1, Sankhara, and in the number 2, Vijnana, they are linking each others. In the number 1, Sankhara, and in the number 2, Vijnana. Sankhara and Vijnana are linking each others. In the number 2, Vijnana, and in the number 3, Tanha. Vedana. In the number 2, Vedana, and in the number 3, Tanha. They are linking each other. That is one link. That is one link we have to understand. Okay, you have to understand 3 links. I hope you may understand 3 links. You may understand 3 links. Kamabhava and Chadis are linking each other. In brief, Sankhara and Vijnanas are linking Vedana and Tanhas. Are very easy. Here, past period. Number 1 section, past period. Number 2 section, present period. Number 3 also present period. 2 and 3 are present period. Number 4 is future period. Number 1 is past. Number 2 and number 3 are present. Number 4 is future. 1 is past. 2 and 3 are present. Period. 3 period. Continuance, 5 factors, 5 continuance. That is called past causal continuum. 5 past causal continuum. And the number 2, 5 present resulting continuum. And the number 3, 5. And number 4, 5 future resulting continuum. Resulting continuum. 5 past causal continuum, 5 present resulting continuum, 5 present causal continuum, and 5 future resulting continuum. Altogether 20 continuums. 20 continuums. In that case, we have already finished this verse. 2 in the root, avijja and tanha. 2 in the truth, samudaya satya and dukkha satya. 4 other groups. In the number 1, 5 groups. In the number 2, 5 groups. In the number 3, 5 groups. In the number 4, 5. In the number 1 groups, 5 factors. In the number 2 groups, 5 factors. In the number 3 group, and Vibhagavata, that is called 3-4 round. 3 links. Sankhara and Kamabhava is 1 link. Vedana and Tanha, between the Vedana and Tanha, there is 1 link. Kamabhava and Chati, between the Kamabhava and Chati, that is 1 link. 3 period, past, present, and future. 20 continuous. 5 past causal continuum, 5 present resultant continuum, 5 present causal continuum, 5 future resultant continuum. This is called 20 continuous. I hope this is the end of this lecture. I hope you may understand. This is the last one, the last lectures. We have to conclude this diagram. So I hope you may understand a little bit. If you understand, all of you, venerables, could you explain as you understand here, 2 in the root or 2 in the truth for other groups? Which one do you understand? You can explain me, you can tell me as you understand. Venerables, please explain as much as you can. The diagram, according to the Mobile Cells method, based on Buddha's teaching, this is the doctrine of dependent origination. We have finished the explanation of this diagram. Basically, understand or no, I don't know exactly. Are there anyone who can explain this diagram? Venerable. Okay, I hope this is conclusion of this diagram. I have to chant into conclusion. This is final lectures of dependent origination. If you understand today's lecture, you can give Dhamma talk in English. You can give Dhamma talk dependent origination. To give Dhamma talk on dependent origination, today's lecture is really important. Without understanding today's lecture, you cannot explain, you cannot give Dhamma talk on dependent origination. In order to understand dependent origination, today's lectures is really beneficial not only for the meditators but also preachers, meditation masters, meditation master as well. This is easy to understand, I hope. In order to understand today's lectures, you have to study 12 factors. 12 factors are mainly important in these lectures. Sorry. Sengo bija ila, nawo le ja ila, dini usa, dini nene miya dware, ရောဒီနေ့ဏီကုန်းချုပ်ချင်တာနဲ့နည်းနည်းဥနာရရာကြီးပဲနဲ့လေဝိဇာရာကြီးအဲ့တော့ရောဒီနေ့သင်္ကန်းစာပရိစ္ဆသမုပ္ပါသင်္ကန်းစာလေးဏီကုန်းချုပ်လိုက်ရအောင်ပရိစ္ဆသမုပ္ပါအင်္ဂလိပ်မြန်မာသင်္ကန်းစာလေးကိုဒီလိုဒါဏီကုန်းချုပ်ပြီးဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့တော့နောက်အကျင့်များမှရတပည့်တော်များဆက်လက်ပြီးတော့ဆွေးနွေးသွားမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ပရိစ္ဆသမုပ္ပါသင်္ကန်းကတော့ဒါဏီကုန်းချုပ်သွားပါပြီသင်္ကန်းအနေနဲ့ဒါပြီးသွားပြီလို့ဒီလိုသဘောထားရမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့တော့ဒီနေ့သင်္ကန်းကတော့ run through ပေါ့အဲ့တော့ဏီကုန်းချုပ်ခြင်းတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ဒီနေ့အများကြီးပြောပြလိုက်ပါတယ်အများကြီးပြောပြလိုက်ပါတယ်အဲ့ဒီကနေပြီးတော့လိုရင်းကလေးကိုဘုန်းကြီးကလည်းပြောမလားလိုရင်းလေးနည်းနည်းနားလည်တော့ပြောခြင်းလည်းပြောလို့ရတယ်ရနည်းနည်းပြောပြအောင်မလားရလားအစင်ဟုတ်တယ်အင်တာနက်ကထစ်နေနော်အင်တာနက်လည်းထစ်တယ်ဒီလိုအင်တာနက်ကထစ်တော့အတန်တွေပါပြတ်သွားတယ်အတန်ကလည်းပြတ်သွားတယ်
Okay, teacher, today's lesson, as much as I know, I will read to my Sharon.
Yes.
My Sharon teach us dependence on origination. So, first one is two rules. They are ignorant and clinging. So, number two is two truths.
Yes.
Two truths. They are the noble truth of case of suffering, the noble truth of suffering, the noble truth of case of suffering, the noble truth of suffering.
Yes.
Another is four groups.
Four groups.
Yes, number one session is number one group, number two session is number two groups, number three session is three groups, number four session is four groups.
Yes.
So, after that, the 12 kata.
Yes.
12 kata. So they are ignorance, activity, consciousness, maya, the sensitive business, chance, feeling, craving, clinging, becoming, but and old age and death.
Yes.
This is 12 factors.
This is a 12 factors.
After that, our Sharon teaches three links.
Three links.
So the second is four bars. They are linking each other.
Yes.
Linking each other. So number one link is activity and consciousness. This is one link.
Yeah, this is one link.
Is feeling and craving. This is number two link.
Number two links.
Number three link is becoming and past. This is three links.
Three links. Yes.
Yes. Another one is three
periods.
wood dust.
Oh, three. Yeah, wood dust.
Three wood dust.
3, 4 rounds.
Kileda wood 3, Kama wood 2, Vibhaga wood 8.
Yes.
Kileda wood 3 art, ignorant, craving, clinging.
Clinging, yes.
Kama wood 2 art, activities, becoming.
Yes.
So the 8 Vibhaga wood are high factor. They are consciousness, maya, matter, sense-based, task and feeling. Feelings far, old age and dark.
Old age and death, yes.
8 Vibhaga wood.
8 Vibhaga wood dust.
Yes, and another one is Kala Dosha, so three
Yes.
periods.
3 periods. Say.
Number one period is
Past period.
past period. Number one.
Yes.
2 session, 3 session together is present periods.
Periods,
Another
yes.
is future periods.
Yes.
Together is 3 periods.
3 periods. Yes.
Yes. Number 8 is 20s. 20s.
20 continuous. Yeah. 20 continuous. Yeah.
Thesis.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Number 1 is 5 causes, and they are Avicca, Sankara, Tanna, Upadana, Bhava. Number 2 also 5 effects.
Yeah. 5 effects.
Vainye, Nayo, Salayana, Fata, Vedana. Number 3 is 5 causes. They are ignorant, clinging, becoming, craving, clinging,
Yes.
becoming, ignorant activities. Number 4 also 5 effects. They are consciousness, Maya matter, sense vision, touch with feeling. Altogether is 20s.
Okay.
That's how teacher.
This is yeah. Thank you very much for your explanation. You explain it all. All of my teaching, you understand. You understand very well all of my teachings, no? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Venerable Unarula. Okay, we hope we should finish this lectures. အဲ့တော့ဒီလောက်ဆိုရင်သင်တော်လောက်ပါပြီเนาะဒီလောက်ဆိုရင်ပရိစ္ဆသမုပ္ပါသင်္นานဒီလိုဒါဆိုရင်ဏီကုံချုပ်ရအောင်အခုလိုပရိစ္ဆသမုပ္ပါသင်္นานကိုဒီလိုခုတိုင်းဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အားလုံးဒီနေ့ဆိုရင်73နာရီမြောက်ပေါ့နော်73နာရီမြောက်ဒီလို14နာရီရတာ14 9 ပတ်နော်9 ပတ်ပေါ့နော်9 ပတ်ပေါ့9 ပတ်ဆိုတော့14နာရီပေါ့9 ပတ်14နာရီမှာဒီလိုတစ်ပတ်ကယောဂီတွေနဲ့တိုက်သွားလို့ပထမပတ်မှာပဲဒီလိုကတစ်ချိန်ပဲသင်လဲရတာပေါ့နော်ပထမပတ်မှာတစ်ချိန်ပဲသင်လဲရတယ်အဲဒီပထမပတ်မှာ2ချိန်သင်ရမှာတစ်ပတ်2ချိန်သင်ရမှာဟိုဒီလိုကပထမပတ်ကတစ်ချိန်ကယောဂီတွေနဲ့တိုက်သွားတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်အဲ့လိုတစ်ချိန်နဲ့သင်လဲရတော့ဒါ73နာရီဖြစ်သွားတယ်အမှန်တော့14နာရီရမှာပေါ့9 ပတ်9 ပတ်ယူရိုဒါ2လနီးပါးပေါ့နော်9 ပတ်ဆိုတော့ဒါအချိန်အနေနဲ့ကတော့2လနီးပါးယူရိုအချိန်ယူလိုက်ရတာပေါ့နော်နာရီအနေနဲ့ကတော့14နာရီ73နာရီ14နာရီပေါ့သင်ခွင့်ရတာ73နာရီတကယ်သင်ရမှာတော့14နာရီပေါ့အဲ့တော့အားလုံးပြီးပြီလို့ဒီလိုဒါဆုံးဖြတ်ချက်ချလိုက်ပါပြီအဲ့တော့ဒီသင်္นานနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ဦးဇင်းများမှတ်မိတဲ့လောက်ကလေးတွေထိုက်တဲ့လောက်တော့အကျိုးရှိမယ်လို့လည်းယူဆပါတယ်ဒါကြောင့်နောက်လည်းပဲရတပည့်တော်တို့ဆက်လက်ပြီးတော့ဒါလေးလေ့လာသွားမယ်ဆိုရင်တော့ဖြင့်ဒါလေးတွေကအခြေခံရမယ်လို့မျှော်လင့်ပါတယ်အဲ့တော့ဆရာတော်ရှင်သူမြတ်ဒီကိုအဲ့တော့ဒီသင်္นานကိုနာယူကြည်ညိုကြတဲ့ယောဂီသူတော်စင်တွေကိုအားလုံးကိုယ်လည်းကျမ်းမာကြပါစေစိတ်လည်းချမ်းသာကြပါစေဖိမတိယမခကောင်းကျိုးတွေလိုရင်ဆန္ဒတွေတလုံးတဝပြည့်စုံနိုင်ကြတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်သူပုဂ္ဂိုလ်မြတ်ကြီးတွေဖြစ်ကြပါစေလို့ဆန္ဒပြုရင်းအပမဒိနာမမိမလျော့မပေါ်မတန်ထက်တန်သောအပမာရတတိတရားဖြင့်တံပါဒိဋ္ဌကိုစီကိုငါပြည့်စုံနိုင်ကြပါစေကုန်တည်းသာဓုသာဓုသာဓု
Recording stopped.
လိုင်းမကြပါဘူးနော်မင်းကြတယ်ထင်တယ်